Today in the battle arena, we have the battle between the Disney Plus heroes. In one corner, we have one of the original members of the Avenger team and just dirty with the bow and arrow, Hawkeye, versus the intergalactic bounty hunter from a galaxy far, far away, the Mandalorian. Who's going to come out on top today? Stay tuned to find out. What's up, guys? I'm Drew. This is DanCo. Thank you so much for watching our channel. If you enjoyed this video or videos that you've seen maybe in the past, please make sure to subscribe, to hit the thumbs up button for likes. Also, turn on the notification bell, and be sure to jump down in our comments to leave us some more suggestions that you want to see in the future. Battle it out here in the battle arena. Thanks again for hanging out with us today, and let's jump right in. Let's get started talking about Hawkeye, Clint Barton, the very next hero to get his very own Disney Plus series, where we get a deeper dive into his life, into who he is. But today's video, we're going to focus on more of the older movies, more of the things we've seen Hawkeye do in the past. And the very obvious place to start is with his bow and arrow. So Hawkeye is super accurate and he's super fast. He has the ability to quick draw, combo kill several Ultron sentries with ease, even at range. Here he's able to draw and shoot at vision that's only 5 feet away. He's able to hold back Black Panther, kill 2 Ultron bots in one shot. He shoots this Ultron bot out of the air, curves an explosive around a helicarrier, and then this move, the no-look shot. So this might be the coolest thing that Hawkeye has ever done, the no-look shot. This is when you're really good at what you do. And I don't even know if he was like trying to show off. Maybe he was. But I think he was keeping his eye on the main target while taking care of these foes behind him, which is just pretty hard. Hawkeye also has an arsenal of trick weapons that include extremely destructive explosive arrows that take down whole warehouses, helicarriers, and even knocks back Loki and Iron Man. Hawkeye is super fast and super accurate, and this is probably his very best feat. But let's talk about his strength. Clint isn't really known for his strength, definitely his bow and arrow more than anything else, but there's a few glimmers of strength in the past that can't be ignored. And oftentimes they are looked over because, of course, it is Hawkeye, who's kind of the underdog of the Marvel team. At least that's my perspective. I might be wrong. Like this, for example, Hawkeye uppercuts an Ultron bot with a regular arrow and crushes through the bottom of his head. Like, there's multiple times we see Ultron bots be bulletproof, super durable, and Hawkeye has the ability and the strength to just crush through one. So Clint is only street level when it comes to his strength, but his reflexes and his martial arts skill has kept him kind of at pars with some of the best in the MCU. Clint evades energy blasts from Loki's scepter. In Civil War, he dodges blasts and attacks from War Machine and from Iron Man. Also, we have to note that he is super stealthy, and his reflexes are strong because he's able to sense Scarlet Witch sneaking up behind him to put him under her mind control. And before she can do so, he slaps her in the forehead with an electrical arrow that kind of finishes the job. His hand-to-hand and up-close combat is something we shouldn't overlook either. Clint takes down 2 Shikari soldiers with ease. This is impressive because at the same time we see these soldiers have the same strength as Captain America and even Iron Man. Clint has fought Natasha a few times, but each time Hawkeye and Black Widow went head-to-head, it wasn't really a practical fight. Of course, the first time, Clint was under mind control from Loki, and even when they were on different sides during Civil War, Clint was holding back his punches, and Wanda even called him out on it.
You were pulling your punches.
So maybe his most impressive feat of all was his battle that he had with Black Panther. There's a moment that he's fighting with Black Panther in Civil War where he actually keeps up. This might change the whole direction of this whole video because this is a big moment for Clint. So Clint goes head to head with T'Challa for maybe a minute, but it's blow for blow, dodging strikes and blocking. Clint actually keeps up. He even gets Black Panther in a submission right before he gets knocked out, but this is huge. Black Panther is like a top tier hero, and Clint shows that he's able to keep up with the Black Panther. This is Hawkeye. Hawkeye is keeping up with the Black Panther. Even Clint without his bow and arrow is still at peak human skill and ability, an elite martial artist, and really deserves a lot more respect. So that's Hawkeye, the original member of the Avengers, who doesn't get a ton of clout, but he's super tough, he's super accurate, super fast, he's super trained, extremely talented and gifted at being a martial artist, and he really just deserves the respect. He's also a loving dude. He really keeps the team together at the seams. So what about the Mandalorian? What does the Mandalorian bring to the table? And is he strong enough, fast enough, smart enough to take on Hawkeye? The man who doesn't take any smoke from anyone. Well, we talked about Clint's trusty bow. It's only right to start off with Mando's blaster pistol. The Mandalorian has a wide selection of weapons and gear, but nothing quite like his blaster pistol. And he's sharp with accuracy, and he's speedy too. One shot's able to put down an armored stormtrooper. It blasts through doors, through metal, through droids, especially through droids. Mando even has distance shots dialed in as well. Din also carries an Anbin rifle with the capacity to disintegrate people, also to shock people when he's standing up close. His armor has built-in feats too, like a whipcord launcher for climbing, for grappling, for capturing, for dragging people, a flamethrower for all the pyro people out there, whistling birds, which is like a homing missile, a boot knife, explosives for blowing up doors and TIE fighters. His helmet has a built-in scanner. He has a jetpack. I mean, come on, he has a freaking jetpack. That's like the coolest thing ever. I mean, he has a freaking jetpack. So one of my favorite games ever back in the day was Bounty Hunter, like the Star Wars Bounty Hunter. And you had a jetpack, which was super sick. You had the whipcord. I mean, you had all the stuff. And that game, I love that game so much. And I was like, how can a kid have the capacity to understand what it means to bring someone in warm or cold? I don't know. It was a great game. If you never played it, you should find it somewhere and play it, because it is so much fun. It probably looks terrible now, but it was fun back then. Hey, but comment below if you played it. I want to know if you played it. Tell me your favorite part, and we'll chat about it in the comments. Then he also has other small things like handcuffs. He has a cauterizer for if he has wounds or repairing his armor. And he also has flash charges, which is really cool. If you want to like do a magic trick and get away quick, he can do that too.
Better than being treated like the goofball, the Joker, the magician.
I thought you were going to do like a trick there, like with a fireball or something.
Yeah, I was. It didn't go off. God, these things never go off when you want them to.
So let's talk about how strong he is. He's pretty ruthless when it comes to droids. We see him tear off heads, rip off arms. Mando easily beats down thugs, disarms, and kills 2 mercenaries, and wrecks a whole haul of droids. He's KO'd multiple stormtroopers, and more impressively, when it comes to strength, he was able to hold on to a freaking TIE fighter mid-flight doing barrel rolls. Like, that's some upper body strength. That's really strong. The Mandalorian's armor is going to play the most important part of his durability. His new armor is made out of Beskar, and according to the canon reference book, Ultimate Star Wars, Beskar material is able to repel lightsabers. Like, the thing that Star Wars is all about, it's able to block that. It doesn't hurt people that have on Beskar armor, which is kind of a big deal. But we also see it in action against a ton of blasters through people beating him down, takes a ton of hits. He even takes a hit from his own blaster, and it doesn't hurt him. He also takes hits from throwing knives as well, and Beskar really does the trick. So his durability with his armor on is very significant. So what would happen if these two went full out against one another, head to head? Would the Mandalorian come out on top, or would it be Hawkeye? The Mandalorian, of course, has all the gear, has all the gadgets, has the blasters, has the rifles, and Hawkeye only has his bow and arrow. But he has his specialty arrows, like we mentioned before. But the Mandalorian is honestly just way cooler. He's just a better vibe. Let's be honest, Hawkeye's kind of an underdog. He's not as cool as the Mandalorian. But Hawkeye has a lot of things that's going to really propel him to win this battle today. And I think it's all going to come out to the very first shot. They both have quick draws. We see that with Vision against Hawkeye, and we see Mandalorian multiple times quick draw his blaster out to take down enemies. That's a big deal. So the Mandalorian, all he has to do is pull his gun out, pull the trigger, and he shoots and kills whoever he's shooting at. Hawkeye has to pull out his bow, has to pull out his arrow, whichever arrow he wants. Pull that out, set it, pull it back, aim, let go. And he's really quick at it, but I think that Mandalorian beats him off the line when it comes to quick draw. So with that being said, I'm sure you're thinking, well, the Mandalorian just pulls out his blaster and it's game over. He wins every time. Well, like we talked about earlier, Hawkeye's able to dodge a lot of attacks. We see that throughout all the movies that he's in. against War Machine, against Iron Man. We even see him dodge an attack from Loki from his scepter. He just gets out of the way. So I think that in this battle, there's a good chance he's just very conscious battle-wise that he would be able to dodge whatever the first attack is. Let's be honest. And if he can do that, I think that he can set the stage for a win. Hawkeye's the kind of guy that probably wouldn't go for a kill shot, but he would go for a shot that would set the stage to his advantage, to make things in the battle to be for his favor. I think the first shot is really important, but I think the most important piece of this whole battle is the scaling of ability and skill that Hawkeye has when he fought the Black Panther. If he is able to go toe-to-toe with Black Panther, one of the best heroes of the MCU, I don't know if anybody else that is street level that can hang with Hawkeye. That just kind of sets him above the bar, sets him above average, sets him above the Mandalorian probably. Hey, Tex. Sweet boy. Who do you think wins, Hawkeye or Mandalorian? I don't know, man. It's a hot take. So once Hawkeye has set the stage with firing back at the Mandalorian, maybe he disarms him. Maybe he shoots an explosive arrow that sets up the stage for him to have more of an advantage. But I think that a hand-to-hand combat, that Hawkeye's going to win that. I think that Clint has showed enough skill, enough ability with his fight against Black Panther that he has enough to take on the Mandalorian. Does the Mandalorian measure up to Black Panther? Like, the Mandalorian's cool. Let's be honest. He's really cool. But I don't think he could beat the Black Panther. Like, that's a big gap there. Hawkeye's able to adapt to situations. He's able to read a situation really well. He has a lot of smarts when it comes to battles. And if you're thinking, okay, so maybe Mandalorian misses his first shot. Maybe Hawkeye hits the second shot. Well, there's another part that happens with the Mandalorian in this fight where a throwing knife actually made it through his armor. We're talking about Beskar armor is hard to break into. Well, Hawkeye's ability is to be able to see the flaws in people's armor, to see the spot that needs to be hit, to be able to take down the enemy. And so being that the Mandalorian has weak places in his armor, has weaknesses in his defense, I think that Hawkeye will be able to take advantage of those things. We also can't just pick out all the things the Mandalorian does wrong and say, like, well, Hawkeye would take advantage of that. Oh, well, Hawkeye would exploit that. Well, Hawkeye also has some weaknesses as well, like he was knocked out by Black Widow. But Natasha, watching the Black Widow movie, Daniel's mentioned it before, she might have had some super soldier serum or something. Her strength, her durability is not really human-ish. It's above human ability, honestly. And her skill, of course, she was trained in the Red Room, and so she has all that background as well. So what does that mean for today's battle? I think that Hawkeye has just too much skill. He has too much ability. And when it comes down to being able to be durable enough to take attacks, I think that Hawkeye could exploit the Mandalorian's defenses. Just like we saw this throwing knife make it through, Hawkeye's main thing is hitting a target. And I think that he has the wits to be able to figure out where he's weak and to take advantage of that. So today, Hawkeye wins. To be honest, I really wanted the Mandalorian to win. The Mandalorian's really cool, and I'm like, there's no way the Mandalorian can lose. But the more I looked into it, I don't think that Hawkeye could lose. If I'm honest, I think it would be a 6-10. I think Hawkeye would barely have the advantage, but he would win overall. Maybe a 6-10, maybe 7-10 type of battle. But Hawkeye wins today. What do you guys think? I would love to hear your guys' thoughts. Sound off in the comments below. Who do you think wins this battle? Do you think it's Hawkeye or do you think it's the Mandalorian? If you think it's Mandalorian, please share why. We like to read those. We like to check the comments on every video. And while you're down there, make sure to subscribe, to hit that like button. Also, to turn on notifications for more videos just like this every single week. And until then, we'll see you next time.